The following program is sponsored by Fullerton Financial Planning.
Welcome to the Fullerton Financial Show with the founders of Fullerton Financial Planning, Stephanie and Steve Fullerton, a program designed to empower you to live financially confident in retirement. From income planning and wealth management to healthcare, defending against taxes, and leaving a legacy. Stephanie and Steve share the strategies and insights you need to help achieve retirement success. This is the Fullerton Financial Show.
We're here with Steve and Stephanie Fullerton, the founders of Fullerton Financial Planning. Welcome to the show. Good to see you guys.
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
We are talking today about the unknowns when it comes to retirement. So let's go ahead and set the scene. We try so hard to be prepared, but as the old saying goes, we don't know what we don't know. And there could be entire parts of a comprehensive retirement plan that we are missing, not because we choose not to consider them, but because we didn't even know they should be there at all. Today, Steve and Stephanie are going to shed some light on these retirement unknowns. I know a lot of us, when we enter retirement, we assume it's going to be a piece of cake. That is not the case. What do we need to know about retirement?
Well, first of all, I do believe that, experience can be our best teacher. But chances are most of us do not retire with that type of experience. And so it's really important. And I love the saying that you just said, you don't know what you don't know. In fact, Steve uses it a lot with me. He's like, well, I can't make a decision if I don't know what I don't know. And we sit down with a lot of people that they're coming in and they've spent their whole life accumulating, putting in their 401k. They've been really good students of that. And then all of a sudden they find themselves at retirement and they're like, well, I don't know what to do. So what should I do? And so the question really does become sitting down and say, okay, I've got this. Now what should I do with this?
How do you choose someone to help, Steve? Because I would imagine that the insight that folks like you, financial planners, can give us is just invaluable.
Right. Well, that's one of the reasons that actually we got into this business was because of we had a family member that got kind of taken advantage of financially. I mean, there's all different types of abuse. Financial abuse is another one. So that's one of the reasons that we really got into it, because when you're accumulating and you're adding in and you're growing at maximum growth, the markets go up, the markets go down, and that's a good period. But when you start to approach retirement, that's a different type of planning. So you really need to have someone who specializes in retirement planning rather than just let's roll it hard and win big and lose a lot, but you win more than you lose. But in retirement planning, it's different.
People spend more time planning a vacation than they do retirement. I don't know if you're into hiking, but a lot of people will hire a Sherpa to get them to the top of the mountain.
Well, if you're in Nepal, perhaps.
Yes, yes. They spend a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
But they don't spend the money to take the Sherpa down. Most people die coming down the mountain than going up the mountain. And a lot of people will spend a whole lot of money planning for retirement, but then when they get to retirement, not spend the money, not sit down with someone that understands how to get them into retirement and to stay in retirement.
Well, and I also feel too, and one of the reasons that I like you all is that I also feel a connection. I feel like you genuinely care about what I'm doing. It's not just something that benefits you. You follow up with a lot of your clients, and your whole team does exactly that. So what are the basic things that we need to know when we're considering retirement and we get there?
Well, you want to look at taxes. I think one of the biggest tax bombs are inside of your 401k because you spend all these years accumulating and you're not thinking about it. A lot of people actually will say to us, taxes are going to be lower when I go into retirement, right? Well, you would think, but because of those big 401ks, you're having to start taking those minimum distributions, pops you right back into a high tax bracket. So we take a look at taxes. I like to call it my 4 pillars. How are you going to address healthcare?
And that's a biggie.
It's a huge one. If you're married, at least one of you most likely is going to need some type of care. How are you going to address taxes? How are you going to look at inflation? Inflation tells us that if your spending is budget is $5,000 in retirement, 10 years is going to be about $7,500. In just 20 years, it will almost double. So how are you going to deal with inflation? And the biggest pillar, Tara, of retirement. In fact, I will often say there is no retirement without this, and it's an income plan. It's a foundation.
I'm a little stressed. Should I be stressed, or can this be a fun process, Steve?
Well, it's an important process, and you don't have to be scared of it, but you do need to deal with it. You know, people go up to retirement and just think that when they pull the plug and they retire, it's going to be good.
Right.
It's not necessarily the case, because just because you retire doesn't mean all the obligations of the things that Stephanie just said, healthcare, taxes, inflation, risk, income. Those things are all huge, important things that need to be looked at, and it doesn't need to be scary, but it does need to be dealt with.
Well, and it's less scary, obviously, the more educated you are, which is why you all do such a great job. Steve, will you be offended if we kick you out for this next segment?
No.
Will you be okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
He's used to it. Steve's going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to come back. We're going to have more with these two. But first, coming up in our Women's Wealth segment, Stephanie and I are going to address some concerns specifically that women have to deal with. That's coming up next on the Fullerton Financial Show.
There's a new partnership in the Valley, and we couldn't be more excited. Fullerton Financial Planning is proud to partner with GCU Athletics, uniting our commitment to faith, family, and the future.
For 20 years, our heart has been helping families protect what's most important. And now, we're honored to bring that same commitment to the GCU community. Fullerton Financial Planning, your retirement game plan starts here. We're proud partners of GCU Athletics. Visit fullertonfp.com/GCU. Go Lopes!
When it comes to taxes, you want to pay more or less? I'll bet you're like me, you'd rather pay less in taxes. How can you do that? When you use certain strategies, you can take more control over your taxes. When you pay taxes on the contributions of your retirement account, that's like taxing the seed. But if you wait and pay taxes when you're taking it out, it's like paying on the harvest. Contact our team today to talk about strategies that can help you pay taxes on the seed, not the harvest. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to the Fullerton Financial Show, and welcome to the segment we call the Women's Wealth segment. We are discussing a topic that unfortunately affects many retired women, the financial challenges after divorce or widowhood. And this can be, a challenging time, not just emotionally, obviously financially. So Stephanie, what is the first thing that women need to think about?
Take a deep breath and just realize it's going to be okay. I think, and I've shared so many times just about my mother-in-law when she became a widow, how overwhelming it was for her. She didn't take care of anything. When I say she didn't take care of anything, I'm talking finances, accounting, banking, writing checks, balancing a statement. That her husband did that. I've talked about that. Recently sat down with a widow. Her husband did everything. Highly intelligent woman. She was HR for if I told you the name of the company, you'd be like, oh, tell me all of the good juice, She came in and sat down with me, literally began pulling out folder after folder after folder. And I'm like, what is that? She goes, I don't know. She goes, ever since my husband died, I just been putting all the mail in these folders because I didn't know what to do. And it wasn't because she didn't know how to do it. It just wasn't her wheelhouse. So I would say, take a deep breath. Let's begin to put things together. Pull out financial statements, pull out important documents, bank statements, insurance policies. Let's look at those. Do you have proper long-term care or health care? The next thing, and maybe women don't want to hear this, or maybe we do, let's build a budget. Let's know what it's going to take. I'm not telling you have to live by it.
Right.
but let's know what it's going to take. Because if you can tell me what your lifestyle wants to be, how you want to enjoy life, what you want to do, then I can help build a budget and an income plan to hopefully support that. And don't be afraid to ask for help. This lady I'm telling you about, she waited 3 years before coming to see me. Tara, she didn't file taxes for 3 years.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of work to do.
It's interesting that you say that. I have somebody very close to me who just recently got divorced. They're in their mid-50s like me. And she has gotten very emotional more than once over the fact that she's upset that she didn't know more. And I think so many women allow their husbands to kind of take control. And she's been beating herself up for not knowing more. So I think, well, that's just it. I think your point about first take a deep breath and it's okay to ask for help and just knowing they're not alone. But for women who might feel overwhelmed, what can they do to help alleviate some of that pressure they're putting on themselves?
Well, first, yes, sit down with someone and talk. But I think it's super important, get into like a support group. Connect with other women that have gone through this. One of the biggest things that helped my mother-in-law was truly the women that came along around her that were either widowed or divorced. Tara, studies show that 80% of women, think about this, 80% of us, so 10 women in a room, 8 are gonna die single, widow, or divorce.
So you have to be prepared.
80% of men die with a companion. Isn't that crazy when you think about it? So have a support group. Have a group of women that you go out to lunch with, because what you're going to find once you get talking, there's a lot of common things, and most likely they're going to have someone that they trust, that they work with, that they can recommend you to. Come in and sit down with me or one of my team members. Tara, what we do for so many people is incredible because first of all, there's no obligation. Like you could come sit down with our team, allow us to pour into you, fully educate you, help you get started. Now, most of the time you will work with us because the value that we bring, the comfort that we offer, and the strategies that we provide, there's a lot of peace of mind in that and confidence. Really, it's the confidence that you gain knowing you're going to be okay. But let's say you sit down and you're just like, okay, well, thank you. We're going to be okay with that because we truly are here to help people. And I love working with women.
So is it okay that you're not just financial planners? You could possibly be therapists.
Well, I could sometimes say I fall a little bit. Yes, I fall into. I have Kleenex boxes.
All right, just in case. I think everybody on the team might have to have a Kleenex box. Yeah. What is the number one thing that women who find themselves either divorced or widowed, what's the number one thing they should know?
It's not too late. Don't think, oh, well, it's over. I didn't know what to do. Like my one client did, and just start stuffing things in envelopes, hiding it under the tree or under the bed mattress because you don't know what to do. It's never too late. And she's just one story of many of women that come in, especially widowed, had no idea that they had or didn't have. I mean, it works both ways. Some women thinking they have and they find out that they don't. Right. Other women thinking they don't have, and oh my goodness, they're surprised at what they do have. So it's about sitting down. It's not too late. Sit down and, let us help you understand the big importance of so many different areas when it comes to true retirement planning.
Hopefully this has helped a lot of people. Thank you, Stephanie. So, yeah. Don't go far. I know you're coming back in just a few minutes. Coming up, Stephanie is going to share some common mistakes to avoid when it comes to retirement planning. You don't want to miss it right after the break.
Don't you love a good deal? If you're like me, you love finding things on sale. I want to tell you about a special sale you don't want to miss. Believe it or not, taxes are on sale. They're lower than they've been in decades, but just like back to school sale or Black Friday special, lower taxes are only here until 2026. Contact my team now to learn ways to take advantage of this tax sale while there's still time.
When it comes to taxes, you want to pay more or less? I'll bet you're like me, you'd rather pay less in taxes. How can you do that? When you use certain strategies, you can take more control over your taxes. When you pay taxes on the contributions of your retirement account, that's like taxing the seed. But if you wait and pay taxes when you're taking it out, it's like paying on the harvest. Contact our team today to talk about strategies that can help you pay taxes on the seed, not the harvest. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back. We've been talking on today's show about some of the things that we may consider doing to help us get to the retirement that we want, but sometimes it can actually be helpful to hear about what not to do. Stephanie?
Thanks, Tara. For years in our office, on TV, or on the radio, we've talked with people about what they should do to be prepared for retirement. Save diligently, invest wisely, have a plan, and that's all important, of course. But today, I want to flip the script. Let's talk about the hidden risk in retirement by focusing on what not to do, because sometimes the biggest mistakes aren't about your money, but about your life. The first mistake I see people making is letting their social and family connections fade away. When you leave your job, you also leave behind a built-in social network. The casual conversations, the shared projects, the office community, it all disappears, and it's easy to find yourself feeling isolated. Retirement isn't just about financial independence. It's about having a rich, fulfilling life. A strong social network is one of the best investments you can make for a happy retirement. Another pitfall is being afraid to try new things. You have spent decades mastering your career. You were an expert. You were comfortable. Now you have this incredible gift of time. But the idea of being a beginner at something can be intimidating. Don't let that fear hold you back. Curious about woodworking or painting? Find that local workshop. The joy of learning something new, of challenging your mind and your hands, it's powerful. It keeps you sharp, engaged, and brings a new sense of purpose. Don't let your world get smaller in retirement. Make it bigger. Now, let's talk about a big one. Don't immediately downsize your home or move to a new city the day after you retire. I know it's tempting. You've dreamt of that beachside condo or a smaller, more manageable house. But making a huge location change is a massive emotional and logistic decision. Your home is more than just a building. It is your community. Your routines, your familiar doctors and grocery stores. Give yourself some time, at least a year, to settle into your new retirement rhythm before making major life changes. Live your new freedom for a while. You might find out that what you thought you wanted isn't what you truly need. Of course, we have to talk about your financial side. A huge mistake is to start spending without discipline or a plan. For the first time, you're not adding to your savings. You're drawing from it. It can feel like all you have, all your money in the world. But a lack of planning can erode even a substantial nest egg faster than you can imagine. This is your reward for a lifetime of hard work. But it's not a lottery win. You need a clear written income plan that outlines exactly how much you can spend each month to ensure that your money lasts as long as you do. And finally, and this is so important, don't neglect your legacy and the inheritance planning. It's a topic many of us find uncomfortable, but putting it off can create incredible stress and conflict for the people you love most. A well-structured plan is not about dwelling on the inevitable. It ensures your assets are being distributed according to your wishes, minimizing taxes, and provides clarity and peace of mind for your heirs during a difficult time. Your legacy is more than just money. It's the values and security you pass on. Now is the time to come in and get those answers and the confidence you deserve. You've spent enough time wondering and waiting. Reach out to our team at Fullerton Financial Planning today and let's sit down together. We're here to help you move forward into a retirement you've been dreaming of. Tara, back to you.
All right, I'm already dreaming, Stephanie. Thanks so much. Coming up, Steve and Stephanie answer some of your most pressing retirement questions. That's our Q&A segment coming up next on the Fullerton Financial Show.
When you address your financial concerns, it can lead to greater confidence about your future.
At Fullerton Financial Planning, our workshops focus on common issues that people preparing for and in retirement face.
Issues like income needs, medical expenses, and legacy planning. Many of the treasured relationships that we've built started with a visit to one of our workshops.
Call or visit fullertonfp.com for a complete list of upcoming events and to register.
There's a new partnership in the Valley, and we couldn't be more excited. Fullerton Financial Planning is proud to partner with GCU Athletics, uniting our commitment to faith, family, and the future.
For 20 years, our heart has been helping families protect what's most important. And now, we're honored to bring that same commitment to the GCU community. Fullerton Financial Planning, your retirement game plan starts here. We're proud partners of GCU Athletics. Visit fullertonfp.com/GCU. Go Lopes!
Welcome back, everyone. All right, it's time to take some viewer questions. These are some in-depth, good questions. Are you all ready?
Ready.
I feel like you can handle it.
I'm good.
You seem relaxed. I know you're good. Our first question comes from Elaine in Tempe. Elaine says, I'm less than a year away from retiring. I have retirement accounts and I've been working with a broker for years, but I guess I've never considered how taxes will affect me. Once I start taking my withdrawals, how will I be taxed? Great question, Elaine.
It's a great question, and tax is a big passion of ours. That's why just recently, over the last few years, Tara, we made it a point to bring on a tax firm to our company just because we believe taxes is such an ingredient to doing retirement planning. So when you think about it, anything that you've not yet paid tax on, 401k, IRA, 457, 403b, anything that you say, I've never paid taxes on that, right, you're going to pay taxes on that.
Are you surprised how many people don't realize that?
Yes. And I'm really surprised at how many people, and it's in the very high percentage, that don't understand why their taxes really are not going down in retirement because of this very thing between money you've not paid yet tax on. By the way, the question that Elaine had for us is how are these accounts taxed? Normal income, because you've not yet paid taxes on it, which then is going to kick that probability of a portion of your Social Security is going to get taxed. Oh, and don't forget, if you're fortunate enough to have a pension, that's going to be added into all of this. Anything that's going to give you income, maybe it's long-term gains. We're super excited about teaching our clients and potential clients about Roth IRAs.
Yeah. You've always liked those.
Yes. Yep. Why, Tara? This is your big lesson.
Not taxable.
The growth is not taxable, right? That's money that keeps you in a lower tax bracket. So for Elaine, here's what I'm going to encourage Elaine to do. In fact, I think you said she's from Tempe. Mm-hmm. She needs to come to our Tempe office by ASU. It's right there near the campus. Come sit down for a complimentary review. Let us show you. We'll do a full tax analysis, Social Security report, how and when to take your Social Security, all of these things she can get at no cost and no obligation. So why wouldn't she?
I feel like you moved there just for Elaine.
Yes,
it's so close. All right, let's get to Jim in Scottsdale. Jim's got a great question. My wife and I are very lucky enough to have retired comfortably, but we're now concerned about our 2 adult children. They just aren't ready to launch out on their own, he says. It's going to start eating into our savings if we continue to support them. So how do we help our children without having it affect our retirement?
Well, one thing that I've learned in life, I used to think I had life figured out until it happens to you and you figure that you don't have it figured out. It doesn't always go as we plan. And so what I'm sensing from Jim's question is, you know what, we thought we were pretty good.
Right.
But there's some things happening in our family that concern us. And so we sit down with situations very similar to this. Really, and we'll talk at the 20,000 foot level on this, what we really need to do is figure out how we can help Jim and his wife have income in retirement today and into the future, so the what ifs of life aren't going to affect the lifestyle of Jim and his wife.
Right.
We do that all the time, and we do that by protecting some assets that specifically are for Jim and his wife. This other stuff outside of the protection zone, we'll just call it that, well, that's some assets you might be able to dip in to help some family members or something like that. So everybody is unique and different in that. But what I hear in Jim's question is we need to make sure Jim and his wife are taken care of. And then he's going to be able to bless his family should the need arise. So it's not going to affect, taking care of them is not going to affect the lifestyle of Jim and his wife.
Well, and it might also be helpful to involve his adult children in this conversation so that they also learn about this and can support themselves when they enter retirement.
Yeah, so again, it's individual to each situation, each couple. What we would recommend is Jim come in, schedule an appointment. We can sit down, see what there is, see what their goals are, and see how we can help plan, not just for Jim and his wife, but the entire family.
I think we have time for one more question. We've got Lynn in Phoenix. Lynn is 63 years old, and all my life, she says, she's been investing consistently, including in my 403B at work. My advisor says I'm doing great and not to worry about retirement, but I feel like it's time for a more solid plan. What should I do? First of all, congratulations on being so proactive with investing.
Well, it reminds me of a situation where someone came into the office, sat down for a first appointment, had a black box that they put on the table and slid it across the table. And a little unusual, but I go, what's this? Oh, my advisor made a plan. And he said, do not open this box for 10 years, and now it's 10 years. I want to see what's inside. Well, that reminds me of Geraldo and the Vault.
Right.
I mean, seriously, and that didn't go well.
Right. I remember.
But we're talking about some seriously important things. And I don't know who the advisor is, but it really concerns me. Hey, just trust me. Just trust me, it's going to be okay. Well, that's important to have trust in your advisor for sure. But you want to see a plan, you want to see a number, you want to see how it's going to work, not just trust me.
And life changes. I mean, think about it. In 10 years, how much your life changes. Like, you better be looking and making the adjustments along the way.
Right. And you two obviously can help on the team at Fullerton Financial Planning. Well, thank you so much. Yes. I learned a lot in 24 minutes or 25 minutes, give or take some commercials. So if you're ready to create a tax-efficient retirement plan designed to protect your wealth, help generate income for life, and leave a lasting legacy, now is the time to connect with the team at Fullerton Financial Planning. For Steve and Stephanie and the entire team, I'm Tara Hitchcock. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on the Fullerton Financial Show.
The preceding program was sponsored by Fullerton Financial Planning.